Hello, everyone. This is another one. This is another ASUN Lunchbox with Kendra Watkins, and I am your host. And I have joined with me the ASUN Women of the Year nominees and FGCU's Amanda Carroll, as well as North Florida's Sydney Shrader. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, actually. I'm happy that you guys have had the opportunity to join me, and you guys have taken some time out. I see Sydney's outside. How's everything going out there?
It's good. It's about to storm, but I think we'll get it all in before it rains.
Got you. You're in Florida now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it'll stop raining in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Florida, it doesn't take long for it to start and stop. It comes from nowhere. But I just want to ask you guys, how have you guys been dealing with the quarantine and just everything that's just been going on in these last couple of months? Amanda, I can start with you.
All right. I moved back home to New Mexico, so I've just been sitting at home a lot. It's been a transition, I guess, from being in Florida and being around my teammates and my friends all the time. But coming back home, I've been coaching volleyball, so it's been pretty fun, pretty productive, I guess. Yeah, it's been good.
Okay, and coaching volleyball, what made you get into that? Was it something that you wanted to pursue, or it's just something that you've been using to fill in your time?
I coach beach volleyball every summer with the club that I used to play with before I went to college, and they asked me to come back and coach some beach and some indoor, so it's been good. And I just recently got a new job, so I'll start that soon.
Got you. Okay, cool. It's pretty awesome. Sydney, what about yourself?
I've been kind of back and forth between home and Jacksonville. So home is in Naples, Florida. So I'm in Naples now. So I'm actually going back to Jax tomorrow, and I've kind of just been chilling, watching a lot of Netflix. I got a little side job at a donut shop, which has been fun, but I actually also did get an actual job at a golf course that's starting soon. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Got you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What have you been watching on Netflix?
Oh, I'm stuck on Gossip Girl.
Oh, I rewatched that too.
I've never seen it before though, so this is the first time I'm watching it.
It's so good.
It is so good. I'm binging it pretty hard.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I've been binging a couple of shows just here and there. Amanda, have you had time to indulge in some of the shows or rewatch some of the shows?
Yeah, I started quarantine when I was still in Florida with rewatching Gossip Girl. I've been watching a lot of anime lately, so I don't know if people know a lot about anime, but I've been rewatching some of my favorites.
Okay, wow, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I watch it from time to time, but not enough to actually get into dialogue with you. So it's just more so, oh, that's on. I watch it for a couple of minutes. All right, moving on. But I wanted to ask you guys just because I know with Woman of the Year nominee is eligible for every female student athlete that they're nominated by their member school for the conference to review and nominate. So the criteria, it goes into volunteering, it goes into academic success, with field success. I wanted to ask you just with all that you guys do during the course of the year with going to school and actually competing, how do you schedule in time to actually volunteer, and how were you guys volunteering during this year?
I'll go. So one of my favorite volunteering was actually with my team. So my coach gave me the time to set up a time for like our whole team to go volunteer. And we went to a place called Gabriel's House, and we actually cooked dinner and we served it to all the patients that were there. And I thought that was really cool to do something actually with my team. And it's like something that we could all do. And it was easy to plan because it was with my coaches. So we could figure out times around practices and classes. So I think that made it a lot easier. And I mean, when we're not traveling, we'd have weekends basically off. So that made it easier to volunteer as well.
Got you. And how was your cooking there?
It was really fun, actually. We got to see everyone on the team, like their specialties and whatnot. So we had some really good pies, and we had a lot of good side dishes, and it was a lot of fun.
Got you. Now, when you say pie, because this is the lunchbox and I'm all about eating. So when you say pie, please, like, be specific. What type of pies?
It was an apple cinnamon pie. It was very good. All homemade. It's probably one of the best pies I've had by a teammate, Teresa Conroy.
Okay. Shout out Teresa Conroy. Yes. Coming in with the apple cinnamon pie. Yes, I'm gonna have to reach out about that. So Amanda, tell me about yourself.
I think that the way that I scheduled most of my volunteering was actually through athletics. They would provide opportunities, and then, like, my favorite place to volunteer was San Carlos Elementary School. I volunteered there a few times, and it started as just like one day all the student athletes were asked to go read to students, and then I actually built like a relationship with some of the teachers there, and I asked how, like, if I could come back, and so that's how I got my start there, at least. And at Florida Gulf Coast, volunteering is a requirement to graduate, so it was really easy finding volunteer opportunities throughout the community because there were so many resources for us. So yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I just wanted to ask, like, the time. Like, when do you guys actually schedule in the time? Because I know, Sydney, I know with your season, you could be playing in the fall as well as in the spring sometimes. And Amanda, I know you were playing two sports at a given time. So where are you guys actually fitting in that time, and how much does it take out of your day to actually get into all of that?
I know for me, our workout and practice times were separated. So we worked out in the morning and then we practiced in the afternoon. But for that chunk of time between that, I didn't really have very many in-person classes. I took a couple online classes, or they were only a couple days a week. So I would find time between workouts and practice and go. And it wasn't an extended amount of time, like just an hour or two here or there. Whenever I could get in that time is how I figured it out.
Yeah, I was very similar to Amanda. We had workouts every other day in the morning, and we had practices every other day in the morning and in the afternoons when we didn't have workouts. So it was kind of like, we usually had weekends off, which was nice. I mean, we still had to practice on our own, but it made it easier to kind of schedule in when you'd want to do other things. I also took a lot of online classes, so I wasn't really on campus very often, and that helped a lot. So, and really, like Amanda said, it's only a couple hours to go out and volunteer, so it really didn't take out much of your day.
And another question I just wanted to ask, just is being nominated as ASUN Women of the Year. Just tell me, what does it mean to you being nominated as Women of the Year, and stepping up just for women that have been largely considered as underserved in college athletics?
Well, I didn't even know that I was going to be the nominee from FGCU. Of course, I'm honored, and I think that really, I don't know how Sydney feels, but most of the stuff that I did for my school and for my team and just as an individual was just because I wanted to do it. It wasn't to kind of get any reward out of it. It just feels good to be a good person and work hard. And I think a lot of times when women step into positions of leadership or power, they can be looked down upon. But it's nice knowing that there are people out there that support you, and I feel like I had a really good support system. So.
Yeah, Amanda kind of hit the nail on the head there. I mean, it's awesome to be recognized, and I mean, I'm honored because I know so many like female athletes at just UNF that are well deserving of this as well. So it's pretty awesome to be nominated.
And just sports, I just want to take it back to, I'm going to start first. I'm going to ask a question. Just when did you start playing sports? How has sports grown you into the person that you currently are? And what do you look at it taking you? Where do you look at it taking you in your professional career? Like, what are some things that you can take from it? Amanda, I'll go ahead and start with you.
I started as a gymnast actually when I was very young. But then I had knee surgery when I was also very young, so I had to kind of find a new way to let out my competitiveness, and that's when I found volleyball. I started playing volleyball when I was 13, I think, And it really just taught me how to be a teammate. I know that's super cliche, but coming from a sport where it was more individualized and being young, I was very focused on myself, but then stepping into a team-oriented sport kind of really showed me that you don't necessarily have to be the best. I say this a lot, but like being the best version of yourself doesn't necessarily mean that you are the best at something, but as long as you're working your hardest to improve, then you can be your version of the best. And I think that that's kind of driven me in sports and academics and my professional life. And I'm really grateful to all the experiences that volleyball has brought me. It's really taught me to like open my mind, and I learned how to lead and also be a follower, if that makes sense. So I think that it's given me so many opportunities, not just like athletically, but professionally and academically as well.
What was a lesson that you feel like it benefited you, and something that you just taking going into like, your new position that you'll be starting?
I think that it taught me how to understand other people. So sometimes people learn because of like being hard on them, and then other people need a lot more support. And I think that's kind of what sports has taught me, is that not everyone learns in the same way as me, and not everybody reacts to certain things the same way as I do. And I feel like in a professional environment, I'm going to be able to take that and kind of run with it and really adjust the way that I communicate with people to their needs.
Gotcha. And all right, so Sydney, we're gonna go ahead and rewind it. When did you start?
So I actually grew up playing basketball, and I also had knee surgery. I tore my ACL. I tore it my sophomore year of high school, and that's kind of when I started getting more into golf. And after surgery, I could start golfing sooner than I could start playing basketball, and that's kind of when my golfing got better than basketball and started leading towards college and whatnot. And so that brought me more into golf, and it's literally the opposite of Amanda. So I went from a team sport to more of an individual sport. But like the college atmosphere, being in a team position in golf was very different, because it's hard to be like, we're teammates, I want you to play really well, but I also want to beat you. So it made me learn a lot on how to be like a very good teammate, but also respect like what I'm doing and what they're doing in different ways. But I think that's also helped me, since I'm building my career in golf now. I'm going to become a PGA professional. So I'm not going to be playing anymore, but I'm going to be teaching more of and working in a pro shop. So I basically know everything that's going to be going on there, and I know how to work with different people and whatnot. I'm going to be learning a lot about like how to become basically a better instructor, and I'll be able to work on my game and still somewhat play golf, but not professionally or really competitively as much. So I'm excited for that.
It's very interesting. Like, I want to ask you, like, after tearing your ACL and just picking up golf clubs, how long did it take you to transition from that point where you were just playing to the point where like you were playing and you were competitive to actually like consider playing it at the collegiate level?
So I played my freshman year of high school, but I was a lot better at basketball then. And I mean, I was playing basketball, my like eyes were set on basketball. And then once I tore it, I was like, well, now I can play some more golf because I can't play basketball right now. So I kind of got into it more, and I started practicing more in golf. I still played basketball the next 2 years, but it was just like, I got so much better at golf. It was just so quick for me. I mean, I don't know, it just clicked more than basketball was at the time. I could still play, and I wasn't as worried about hurting my knee again, because it had nothing to do with my knee anymore. And I don't know, I believe everything happens for a reason. So tearing my ACL like ended my basketball career, but I mean, it put me in a great position now and for college and everything. So
Well, it's actually awesome that you were able to persevere through that. I actually wanted to ask that question because, I was just playing at Top Golf one time and I was like, ooh, I'm actually not that bad, but I wasn't good enough to put my swing on Instagram because it didn't look good. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that just quite yet. But one question I did want to ask, and Sydney, I'm going to throw this to you. I wanted to ask, and I'm going to ask both of you, but just since you both had injuries like relatively early, and just some studies that I was looking up, and just women in sports and how the amount of women in sports significantly diminishes when they enter like teen levels, like when they get around 13, 14, like it dwindles like drastically. What would you tell a younger woman student athlete, and just to help them persevere and get through that and actually like continue it at the collegiate level, or help them in their studies, or what they can take from it?
I'd say don't put so much pressure on yourself. That kind of hurt me towards the end of my career. I started putting a lot of more pressure on myself, and it kind of wore me out a little. And that's definitely something I would have told myself before. Like these are 4 years. Like, yeah, you want to play your best, but you also want to have fun. The more fun you have, the better you're going to play. Also, the less pressure, the better you're going to play. So I just think that the less pressure you put on yourself and the less outside sources you have coming in. I mean, it can also be very motivating to have people telling you you're not going to do well and whatnot. But I just think you just need to persevere through it. Like, it's going to be really hard, but you just need to get through it because it's going to be a lot of fun and you'll be rewarded in the end.
Got you. And what about yourself?
I think that I would tell younger female student athletes that they shouldn't let their sport consume them, that they're much more than just female student athletes. They're much more than student athletes in general. That's something that I kept at the forefront of my mind from the beginning of the time I started playing sports, is that I have so many other aspects of myself that are important and that I value. And I think that's kind of how I was able to find a balance. And it also made me more motivated to do the things that I enjoyed doing. So volleyball is something that I enjoyed doing, but it's because it wasn't the only thing that I was worried about. So I think it's important to be well-rounded in every aspect.
All right, and speaking on well-rounded, because just if you weren't a student athlete, what would you have been more active in college? Because I know with myself in undergrad, I was heavily into radio, and I tried to get into DJing, it didn't work out. But, I tried it. But what would you have been more involved with on campus, or what would you have liked to have been more involved in?
I think that I would have been more involved in orientation leaders and student government, that kind of thing. That just kind of seems like it spoke to me. I always wanted to do that when I was at college. I always thought that would be fun. So I feel like I would pursue something along those lines.
Yeah, I definitely say the same thing. Definitely more clubs. Yeah. I mean, get to know a lot more people other than just the student athletes. And I mean, you meet a lot of people in classes, but you don't meet as many as you would if you were to go outside of class and go to clubs or different intramural sports. I think that'd be a lot of fun too. Play something you're really bad at just for fun. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. The reason why I asked that question is because I just remember going to work at other institutions and just seeing athletes just coming out of weights and icing up at 8 in the morning. I'm just getting up and coming to work, and I'm like, wow, their day started at 6 o'clock. It's crazy. I remember the time I did an interview at 6 in the morning because that was the best time I could get them. When they were doing weights, and yeah, it was something I was just not happy with doing. So, I really tip my hat to you guys for actually doing all of that and, still being functional late in the afternoon, because I would be done. I would need a nap at 1 or 2-ish. I would definitely flame out. So
yeah, I will not miss 6 a.m. workouts.
It's funny now because I can't get myself to do anything before 8 a.m.
Agreed.
I to college, and I'm like, how did I get up
every day? I don't know either.
5 a.m. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't see how you guys do it, because I actually, like, during this quarantine, like, I don't go to sleep till like 3 or 4 sometimes. So like bird that just starts singing at like 4:30, and I hate him. I'm like, man, go over there. But yeah, like I really don't envy that about your schedule. And question I want to ask, because this is the lunchbox, so I want to seg into this question. I wanted to ask you, like, what are you guys eating now that everything's all said and done? Like, what do you guys like to eat? I know, Sydney, I didn't know you were from Naples, so you actually had to pass FGCU to actually
Yep.
to Jacksonville. So what are you guys eating, both at home as well as where you went to school? Because just in case we have another championship, I definitely want to hit up some of the spots.
I've been staying in a lot. I haven't really eaten out. I'm a big mac and cheese girl, so I'm pretty easy. I've been doing a lot of Kraft mac and cheese at home. But really I haven't gone to any new places or anything different, so I couldn't tell you.
I'm the same. I actually moved back in with my parents to save some money before I move out, and my mom has been loving the fact that I'm home, so she cooks like every meal for me.
What is she cooking?
Well, my mom's Italian, so we have a lot of like homemade Italian food, and my dad just got a smoker, so he likes to smoke meat because that's his like hobby now. So
Hey, that's important.
variety.
No, that's important. Like, I actually been looking at, like, going to Home Depot. I've actually passed the smoker section like 1 or 2 times, like really slowly.
You should get into it.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into it, but I'm just hoping it's really easy. And I know, go ahead.
Okay, it takes a couple tries to get it down, but like don't give up. You just got to keep going.
I made brisket on like my charcoal grill.
Mm-hmm.
Horrible. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so tough and rubbery. Like I wasted like $40.
Oh
gosh.
Yeah, I ate like 1 piece of it, and I was like, yeah, no. Like, my friend was like, let me taste it. I was like, no. It's horrible. It's like, it's definitely not my best work. Also, Sydney, I know with mac and cheese, like, it can be OCD sometimes. Like, I've been making mac and cheese like every week for probably like the past 3 or 4 weeks, because I've been trying to get it down just the way I want it, and I still haven't gotten there either. Like, it's edible.
So I'm a big fan of adding cream cheese to it.
So
I'll do like the box mac and cheese, and instead of adding milk, I'll put cream cheese and butter.
Does it give it like that tangy taste at the end?
It makes it thicker. So instead of like a more watery cheese, it's like a thicker cheese.
Got you. Because I'll make my pasta, and then, I try to make like this little roux sauce, and put all my stuff in it. And I tried cream cheese once. I actually tried sour cream. I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm not following recipes.
I've tried sour cream. My mom does sour cream often, but I'm a big fan of the cream cheese just because of the thickness, I think.
All right, I definitely have to try that. I did try it with cream cheese once, and I did like it. And I let a friend try that, and they were like, this is the one.